Good, finally in. Nice to meet everybody. How's it going? Hope you guys are having a great event.
Yes, we are. Can you hear me when I'm speaking through the microphone?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so this is great. Then I can, this is max volume. So there are two seats here, actually three seats that anyone can take to be closer to the screen to be able to hear. So then officially, Kainat, and thank you for joining. I'm super glad that you're here to talk about Stack and what you're doing around Stacks and Stacks LGN or Stacks London. I personally don't know much about Stacks, not sure about the audience. Maybe some people will know something, but it would be great if you can take us by the hand and lead us into what Stack is and just present the ecosystem in the best way you can. So,
Most definitely. Have you got screen sharing on there?
Yes.
And I'll bring up my screen.
Can you share the screen actually now? Like we have a
Yeah. Let me try again. You might need to enable it.
Let me check.
There we go.
Yeah, should be able to.
Okay, right, wonderful.
Yeah, perfect. Yes.
See?
You can see it. Great.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so quick little introduction. My name's Nat. Hello, everybody. Thanks for having me. I work with Stacks London. Stacks London is a community-led organization. And much like Sofia Crypto Meetup and Blockchain Meetup, we just started to create a community in London for the Stacks blockchain. I noticed that there wasn't a lot going on in London for Stacks. I've been in the crypto industry for about 6 years, and started to I started off as a consultant, and during the hype of the NFTs in 2021, I kind of noticed that people were getting away from the actual ethos of the space, and lots of people were just coming into the space to make money, and then people were gonna, lose money eventually. And because I was here in the at the end of the 2013, 14, 15 cycle, and then also the 2017, 18 cycle, I've seen this before, So I had a unique idea to get people into understanding more about the space. I've always been a Bitcoin educator, and I always believe that Bitcoin education is first, because once you learn Bitcoin, you understand what the actual space is about and why we're all here. I often have a saying that it is not about getting money, it is about what money you're getting. So it is about changing the current landscape. So I think that Bitcoin, better than anything, drives that ethos forward. And I discovered Stacks via starting to build out an idea for an NFT fashion project, which you see me wearing a nice little promo gear here. So I started building that project, and I wanted to build it so that it functioned with Bitcoin primarily, so that I could educate people and also reward people with Bitcoin, rather than letting them go off into the Web3 wilderness, so to speak. And from discovering Stacks, I decided to kind of, as I said, talk about it within my crypto network in the UK. And I found that not many very people knew about it. They did know about the old Stacks, which was formerly called Blockstack, but they didn't know what was going on. They didn't know about Bitcoin NFTs. So I started the Stacks London community, and I've received a wealth of support from the Stacks Foundation over the last, 9 months now since we started the community. So in today's presentation, I'll just be running over some history of Stacks, DeFi on Bitcoin, and where the concept comes from, and also some of the applications, platforms, and features that Stacks itself enables. So beginning with what is Stacks? Stacks is a layer 1 blockchain that is anchored to Bitcoin via its novel consensus mechanism, proof of transfer. And proof of transfer allows Stacks to act as a Bitcoin layer 2. So we settle transactions with finality inside of Bitcoin blocks. Much different from some of the other Bitcoin L2s that are out there. It's previously been described as a sort of layer 1.5, but because there are more applications being built currently with L2 functionality on the Stacks ecosystem, you can firmly say that it acts as a layer 2. Stacks makes things like smart contracts, NFTs, DeFi, and more possible with Bitcoin-based transactions. And coming really soon is a project called SBTC, which will be the first peg in and peg out of native Bitcoin assets in a trustless manner from any Bitcoin L2. So in essence, we'll make pretty limitless possibilities for building applications on Stacks. Stacks wallets also are Segwit and Taproot enabled as well. And there'll be some examples of that later on in the presentation with the latest ordinals craze. So a quick diagram on how proof of transfer works. Miners spend BTC to go into an auction. The auction is provably fair and on-chain. They transfer that BTC to the network, and stackers receive that in what we call stacking, not staking rewards. If they're chosen, if their bid is chosen for the block, then they receive newly minted STX as a reward. And there are mechanisms being worked to transfer remaining BTC to miners who are not winning blocks, basically. So Clarity. Clarity is the non-Turing complete smart contracting language that is used. It's based on a Lisp library and was developed by the Stacks and Algorand foundations together. Is less prone to Turing complete programming language execution errors. It has unambiguous syntax, so developers know exactly what the contract is executing. There's no compiler like other smart contract-based chains, so it's completely human readable, and just understanding a little bit about Clarity will let you know what is going on inside the smart contract, that nothing is hidden in bytecode whatsoever, so it's 100% transparent. A feature of post conditions, so we can stop, we can have protection basically from smart contract bugs or people being able to execute secondary contracts after an initial action by a user. Everything has to be signed a transaction that the user again can read the smart contract and know exactly what has happened. Everything is totally decidable, again going along with being non-Turing complete. So every action is completed with absolute certainty. And it has readability of the Bitcoin state. So we can see exactly what's going on with Clarity smart contracts on the Bitcoin chain. We can even trigger, some transactions using native Bitcoin, and that will just get better and better as time goes along with things like SBTC. So a brief history of Bitcoin DeFi. Stacks is not, let's say, the original Bitcoin DeFi idea, but it has roots that date back all the way into projects such as Colored Coins, BitDNS, which BNS is now birthed from, and Namecoin, which is the world's second ever blockchain after Bitcoin. So the founders of Stacks, Manib Ali and Ryan Shea, contributed heavily to Namecoin and used much of that experience to create a project called OneName. If you've been in the blockchain crypto industry or researched it back to as far as 2013, 2014, you would have heard of these projects. They were quite big, significant leaps in what was going on in the industry, even up until 2015, 2016. And OneName was the first ever instance of creating digital identities using a blockchain, and was fully on chain. And that has now grown into becoming BNS, which is the Bitcoin naming system. So if you see people on Twitter with the handles .btc, and there's a lot of fake accounts popping up now with BNSs, but the real .btcs can only be bought on Stacks. You can't buy them anywhere else. So if there's an Ethereum blockchain out there or any other blockchain trying to sell you a .btc domain name, it's not real. It probably has something else, another smart contract or another domain name system, probably ENS, in the background. It is not a real .btc name. We can actually send now native BTC to and from each other using Stacks wallets just by using somebody's .btc name. So a BTC handle that I have is on Twitter, bigcojones.btc. And if you send BTC to that address or Stacks to that address, it will come straight to me. We don't have to use any public keys whatsoever. A bit of information just interesting about colored coins. Colored coins was probably the first implementation of using different denominations of Bitcoin for experimenting with traditional finance applications and being able to split or make Bitcoins more fungible. So it was the first, we would say, decentralized finance experimentation. So DeFi actually was built on Bitcoin before anywhere else. Since Namecoin, there's definitely been a number of different initiatives. As I said, Stacks is not the only one. We have the Liquid Network, Lightning Network, Rootstock, and Riff. Stacks, obviously formerly Blockstack, and RGB, which is another smart contracting language that is working to use native Bitcoin. And just to obviously make the point clear, Bitcoin forks such as Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin SV are not Bitcoin. They're not BTC. They're not anything fundamentally or categorically to do with BTC. So they are completely different from these other projects that are building on core BTC. So Bitcoin DeFi in the present day, credit this to Coin360, who recently put this up and quite thankfully included us in this presentation or this infographic, shall I say. And the BTC ecosystem is definitely much bigger than this. There are loads more projects that are not even included on this, but this gives you a roundabout feel of how big the actual Bitcoin ecosystem is. As we know, in the last bull run that we've experienced, right now, Bitcoin, I think, has around $400 to $500 trillion in value locked into the Bitcoin ecosystem. And as we know, at the top of the bull run, that was around $1.4 trillion. So it is by far the largest single ecosystem that there is. I know Ethereum does have a lot of value locked in it, but most of the value is locked in other forks or coins that are on Ethereum. Whereas with the Bitcoin ecosystem, all of these things that are being built are native Bitcoin operable. So therefore the value itself is in Bitcoin. The two main wallets that are in use on the Stacks blockchain are, and sorry, just if I'm going a little bit too fast, I will make these slides available to Vlad after the session so that everybody can view them. So the two main wallets on Stacks are Hero Wallet and Xverse. Hero is a company that was created by Blockstack at the beginning to build functional tools for the Stacks Foundation. The Stacks Foundation is completely decentralized and open source, open internet foundation. So it is in part funded by Blockstack as a company, but contrary to misconception, it is not like Stacks is not a funded ecosystem. It's not a corporate entity. It is a completely open source environment. Both of these wallets are non-custodial. They allow you to connect to Bitcoin apps. Xverse has an in-app browser on the phone, so you can actually securely connect to apps without any outside links or interference. Both have BTC stacking pools. So I mentioned stacking earlier on. Stacking, again, is the process of locking up your STX, the native Stacks token, and you receive native BTC for the yield on those tokens. So nothing else. You don't receive anything else, any stable coins or anything like that. Although there is that ability, and we'll come to that later. Both have desktop apps, with Hero developing a mobile app that is coming soon. Hero also has Ledger integration, so you can access Hero from your Ledger. That will be coming for Xverse app very soon also. And both recently support, as I said, Taproot and Segwit. I think either on these at the moment, but both will support both very soon. And that's something that's being worked on. They both also support Stacks NFTs, and they both support ordinals. So you can inscribe ordinals from here, you can store ordinals here, and you can also use multiple ordinals addresses or multiple ordinals, sorry, in one actual place. I'll dive in a little bit into some Stacks projects in a second, but just to kind of round off what I said there about Stacks and stacking and DEX platform. Stacks platform has a number of DEX platforms that enable token swapping. We have token pooling, DeFi borrowing, lending, stacking, and even stable coins that are on the Stacks network. And as I said previously, STX stackers earn a native Bitcoin yield that is paid directly into their Bitcoin wallet. So this is not any wrapped Bitcoin or anything like that. This is native Bitcoin. So some notable Stacks projects. Alex is a DeFi protocol that is modeled on the world's financial markets. It has a DEX, an IDO launchpad, lending and borrowing is available. Stable coins pools are available on there now, farming, and it also has a unique lottery mechanism as well. Arcadeco has a DEX, has stacking, it more focused on governance, and has its unique stable coin, which is USDA, and also has a lot of lending and borrowing, but ways to focus on Bitcoin generating yields. Zest protocol is very unique, as it is the world's first on-chain Bitcoin capital market and provides deep liquidity for on-chain Bitcoin and professionally managed service for Bitcoin lending pools, including uncollateralized loans for institutional investors, again, with native Bitcoin yield. DLC Link provides multi-chain native Bitcoin functionality. This is probably one of the most sought after projects in the Bitcoin ecosystem right about now, and also in other ecosystems, as it will enable Bitcoin escrow contracts to be triggered from other blockchains such as Ethereum, Avalanche, Atom, Tezos. There's quite a few different ecosystems that they're working with, but that will mean that you'll be able to buy, sell, trade Bitcoin and Bitcoin NFTs from any blockchain. And that can also, Bitcoin can also be used as collateral for stable coins on other chains such as Ethereum. So you could basically lock up your Bitcoin, native Bitcoin, to receive a stable coin loan in USDT or USDC, for instance. Bitcoin NFTs. So with Stacks, the leading NFT marketplace at the moment is Gamma, which also supports Bitcoin ordinals as well. So you can buy and sell ordinals on there. You can create ordinals collections on there. It has a no-code creator portal, which is very easy to use and lots of guides, and they're very helpful within their Discord server. So they will help and support you to launch NFT collections. It definitely has unrivaled UX and support for Bitcoin ordinals. They were one of the fastest to spin up ordinal support and inscriptions and buying and selling within about a week and a half from ordinals really blowing up. So there are different types of listings on there, and it is a fully decentralized platform where if you create a NFT collection on there, you do own the smart contract. Haylayer is another major platform. They've shifted their focus a lot towards education recently, but is a curated NFT marketplace for different types of multimedia creators. Has a unique application, mobile application called the Mint Pass, which enables Web2 users to be able to claim POAPs or POAPs to later claim the NFT equivalent of a said POAP. So they can claim in a Web2 way, and then also once they've learned something about non-custodialism, they can then take that over to Web3. They do have deep dive in educational modules, which have recently been launched for beginner and advanced users to learn all about Bitcoin, stacks, and how they can create and use NFTs. And they are a multi-currency marketplace, so they support both fiat and crypto transactions. Tradeport, which was formerly known as Byzantium and now sometimes known as Indexer.xyz, it is a unique multi-marketplace aggregation tool. So you can find prices across different marketplaces. Sorry? Oh, sorry. I thought somebody had asked a question there. So definitely across different marketplaces, you can find different pricing. You can bid and buy and sell across different marketplaces all in one place. It now supports multiple chains, which I think Ethereum NFTs will be supported soon, but Near and Stacks NFTs are currently supported on the platform. You can set trade and bid alerts, and it has some of the best analytics toolings for NFTs in the whole entire crypto industry, I would say. This is number one, is premium quality curated Bitcoin art and multimedia NFT platform, is the longest running NFT platform on Stacks. It has a massive focus on building from Bitcoin core principles. The curated collections are very unique, and they work with celebrities, lots of celebrities, DJs such as Fatboy Slim. We have also Chemical X recently released a collection, has released quite a lot of collections on there as well. And they have a new immersive metaverse collection called Narcotics, which is like a really different metaverse experience. If you're, I know I look young, but if you're as old as me and you remember playing text-based games on a PC, then Narcotics is a very kind of familiar experience for you. Social platforms on Stacks, we have Rider ID, which is a physical Bitcoin wallet and wearable. Also has a unique social encryption and recovery framework, so using social encryption technology there. It supports native BTC and Stacks, and has a stylish modern design and communication functionality using NFC technology. Console is actually got really big recently, and they have onboarded people from Ethereum community as well. So MetaMask is now compatible with Console, but is a Web3 based group chat and communications platform rivaling Discord. Has decentralized, well, they're building and close to releasing signal level end-to-end encryption. You can build token gated communities without plugins, but you can build your own JavaScript stuff within the applications. It is completely open source. It has protection against spammers, scammers, sock puppets, and all of the things that you find wrong with Discord. And you own your Web3 community. So even if Console was to disappear as an application, you could rebuild it from source code and just continue on with your community. Sigil is a decentralized Web3 blogging platform. It's censorship resistant as it's built on Stacks. It's token-gated subscription methodology. It has medium blogging level tools and SEO for writers. Recently released newsletter functionality, and will soon be coming with a very unique rewards mechanism for subscribers and creators. And that was all Web3 based again. Our link is unique Web3 link pages, so similar to Linktree, but a fully decentralized version. So you own all your links, you own your landing pages. It has a unique set of creative designs. It works with standard HTTPS protocol and will soon work with .btc names for landing pages in the same way that it works for HTTPS, with the ability to secure your domains with native BTC, which will come as soon as we have SBTC. So in the Stacks community, we like to say that Stacks advocates are Bitcoin advocates, because a lot of the people that you will find in the Stacks community are I would say Bitcoin maxis, but not in the traditional sense. I know that Bitcoin maximalism has had a bad rap over the years because you have a lot of Bitcoiners that are like, you know, we don't care about anything else but Bitcoin. And if you're doing anything else, it's an S coin and, you know, whatever else. But Stacks advocates, we generally believe that Bitcoin has greater functionality. There's a lot of Stacks advocates that are, you know, involved in other ecosystems such as Ethereum, Tezos, or any other ones that you can name. So we're very open, but we still have the core principles of Bitcoin behind everything. And everything is built on the core principles of openness, decentralization, security, and as I said, the core Bitcoin principles. So some blockchain comparisons really quickly. The chart on the left was taken from an Electric Capital Development report. That same report was repeated again. The study was repeated again in 2022, and Electric Capital found in that report that Stacks has the most Bitcoin developers within its ecosystem for Bitcoin L2s. So we're constantly building, constantly shipping. There's always something going on within the Stacks ecosystem. And as you can see on that chart, there's also some comparisons with EVM and also with Solana. Stacks itself as a blockchain is built on Rust, but the smart contracting language is all built on Clarity. In the comparison on the right, this is a comparability with EVM. So the kind of stuff that is possible in terms of specific attack vectors with EVM. And as you can see, Stacks has a number of base protections that EVM just do not have unless you build very custom smart contracts or capabilities, and some are vulnerabilities at core chain level. This is a comparison of Stacks in comparison to other Bitcoin L2s at the moment. And as I said, this presentation will be made available to you guys through Vlad. So Vlad, make sure you circulate it to those who are asking. And that is it. You can find anything about Stacks at www.stacks.co. And if you want to find out about Stacks London, or if you're ever in London and you want to meet up, I'm always available. And our website is stxldn.com. Thank you very much.
Nice. I couldn't watch the presentation because I actually behind the screen, but it sounded super interesting. And there were lots of different applications you mentioned. So thank you for this really extensive overview. I actually realized that the text that you put on that developed. So now maybe a few minutes for questions. And I can start with the first one. I think DeFi ecosystem is the previous.
It's a little bit muffled. Sorry, Vlad. I couldn't hear that one. Sorry, say it again.
Do you hear me better now, like that?
That's much better. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, right. So that's the previous time we did this. This was much better. So any DeFi ecosystem requires a couple of primitives, and one of them is stablecoins.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you mentioned a project related to stablecoins, but can you tell us about that a bit more? Like, do you envision any time in the future where like we have USDC or USDT on Stacks? How can that work? Yeah, basically,
okay.
What stablecoins are available?
All right. So currently, the native Stacks stablecoin is USDA, and that is pegged 1-to-1 for $1. So USDA is the Stacks native stablecoin. There is a testnet experimentation. So the exchange, the DEX that I told you about, Alex, which I think is alexlab.io for the web address. But Alex has an open testnet for USDC and USDT with an Ethereum bridge. So anyone can go and join that testnet right now on Alex's DEX. And all you need to do is have a MetaMask and have any of the Stacks wallets, hold some USDA, hold some Stacks, and also hold some USDT, I think they're starting with. So, yeah.
Cool. So before I give the word to the audience for questions, one final one. Like, for example, on Ethereum, we have this block explorer ETHScan. On Bitcoin, we have number of block explorers. Is there a block explorer that we can have a look at to see like what are the fees, how many transactions are happening, like the largest apps in the Stacks ecosystem?
Yes, there is. It is actually just called the Stacks Block Explorer. So I think it's a Stacks Explorer, explorer.stacks.co. So explorer.stacks.co. And you can see everything that's going on the chain there. There are also, I didn't want to make the presentation too long, but there are also a number of analytics platforms like Stacks on Chain, which has a lot of DeFi data and NFT data also on it, where you can find customized reports and stuff like that.
All right, thanks. So let's see if there are questions from the audience.
No
Anyone has a question? Maybe just go there.
Hi, thank you for the presentation. Some numbers on the ecosystem, like users and volume and stuff.
So, sorry? Numbers and volumes.
What was that again? Say that again, Vlad.
Numbers or volumes related to the ecosystem.
Right about now, off the top of my head, I know there's probably a lot more now, but off the top of my head, the last time I checked, there was at least maybe 600,000 wallets on the platform active. I think the other day we reached 100,000 blocks on the Stacks blockchain. I mean, there's so many figures I could go into. What else? There was 100,000, I think, ordinals transactions that have happened just within Stacks applications now, and that is out of 600,000 ordinals transactions. There's a sillier number of NFTs and NFT projects right about now starting to really kick off with NFTs. I mean, in the Discord, there's around 45,000 people in the Discord. So yeah, there's probably a lot more people also on Twitter. I know the Stacks Foundation Twitter has a good couple 100,000 followers. So yeah, it's quite a big, I wouldn't say big, but medium-sized community right about now.
Cool, thank you. So is there anything like DeFi Llama, for example, on Stacks where we can see TVL? Or anything? Yeah.
Yes, Stacks on Chain is one place. Also Novum Insights, that's also another place. That's NOVUM Insights. Indexer are building tools around TVL as well. So that's indexer.xyz. There is quite a lot of different tools, to be honest.
All right, thanks. Any more questions? I'm not sure how much you can hear, but I'm doing the best I can. So, yeah, any other questions? Something in relation to the price of Bitcoin?
Can you ask him about ordinals, what they think about the ordinal movement and what's happening with it?
So yeah, a question about what do you think about ordinals and the ordinals movement in general?
Well, I'll answer this from two angles. First of all, from a personal perspective. From a personal perspective, I think it's great. This is functionality that I think a lot of Bitcoiners, even the supermaxis, have secretly maybe desired for a long time. It is a way of doing Bitcoin, art and inscriptions and other things with Bitcoin on chain. So it is, for me, it's pretty good. In terms of how the ecosystem and the community views it, I mean, we were already building NFTs anyway, via Stacks. So for us, we're 100% receptive of it. We love it. you know, Stacks builders to date and ordinals, apart from, let's say, Casey Rodemore, who created the ordinals and the Taproot Wizards, Stacks builders have done the most building on ordinals to date, as far as I'm concerned. Xverse supported ordinals within a matter of a week. So did Gamma, Hero Wallet as well, and a lot of other Stacks applications. There's a very good trading platform that I didn't mention also, which I should have actually mentioned in this presentation. There's a trading platform called NeoSwap, neoswap.ai. And NeoSwap is a blind Dutch auction platform where people can blindly trade NFTs, and it uses an AI algorithm to be able to find the best trades for users. So that has also incorporated ordinals. I think within 2 weeks of ordinals really kind of, I think we were less than 10,000 ordinals at the time when all of this happened. So yeah, Stacks builders have done tremendous amounts for ordinals and very open to it.
Okay, so I guess we should expect more NFTs on Bitcoin.
100%.
Despite what the maximalists actually want, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, look, right, some people in all ecosystems, I mean, we still have Ethereum Classic, yeah, right? There's some people in ecosystems, my view is that some people don't like change. Some people are not gonna like certain things that are happening. And those people, we are in an open and free environment, decentralized environment, where people are going to choose to go this way or that way, yeah? Some people will be open to both views and some people will not. What we've seen right now, I mean, today I literally posted on my Twitter a tweet from Bitcoin Magazine, where Bitcoin Magazine had actually acknowledged that the fee remission and fees on the Bitcoin change on the Bitcoin network, sorry, had positively been affected by the ordinals adoption, which we knew was going to happen anyway. You know, so all of the maxis that are throwing their dummies out the pram and hating ordinals and hating everything, like the narrative is disappearing, you know, like there has to be a way that we can have real user adoption for Bitcoin without sacrificing decentralization, without sacrificing censorship resistance, and also without, you know, making the chain controlled, you know. There were a lot of Bitcoin maxis, sorry, just last point, there were a lot of Bitcoin maxis that were actually calling for censorship resistance right at the beginning of ordinals kicking off. So that just shows you how oxymoronic it can be to just stay in one place and just want to just do everything old style, you know. You know, they were looking to sacrifice the censorship resistance just to get their own way. So ignore it, keep building. Have you still got me there, Vlad? There are connection issues.
Right, thank you. I think, can you hear it?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, we lost you like for 5.
Cool.
This is a great place to stop, actually. And yeah, thank you so much for participating and for this, again, this super extensive overview of the Stacks ecosystem. And yeah, see you around in the, I guess, in Europe, in conferences, or in space in general, especially in Twitter.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
that's the place.
definitely.
So this video will actually, I recorded this, so I'll make this available to the community and to everyone who wasn't able to be here. So yeah, thanks so much.
Thank you very much for having me, guys. Have a wonderful evening.